So John Cena's injury, it looks like he is out with a nasty, nasty knee injury. But there is word from the interwebs that it was a work. We won't know for sure, most likely until either next week's Raw or the Raw after. But if it is true, he's had an injury-filled few years. What do you guys think? Do you think it's time for him to consider scaling back, or do you think, given this is a work, they're just trying to play that card?
I mean, it looks like from the looks of things to me, he's one of the scale back for a while. I think WWE hasn't let him. I mean, he hasn't gotten any time off at all, save, the elbow injury 3 months where they rushed him back. I
I think
think
that's partly him, dude.
Yeah, I
possibly, but
agree.
at the
I
same
agree.
time, it looked like he wanted to take more time, and they hurried things back. Look, him, WWE, let's just say that it probably, maybe a mixture of both, fine. But after this long of not taking time off and performing 300 days a year, the guy's going to get beat up. I mean, I'm not saying he should hang it up, but you got to start asking the question, and you got to start asking if he's got to take some more time off and take care of his body at this point, because he's not getting any younger, and with the wear that he's put on his body, being that guy, and for a long time, the only guy they knew they could rely on, it's really looking like it's possibly taking its toll. I mean, this is a lot of injuries lately.
Yeah, I think this one, like I think looking back now, it looks very good. I mean, well played to John Cena if it is a work, because that was brilliant. Because everyone, and I mean everybody, thought like, whoa, what the hell just happened there? But I do think now, looking back, now that they went to a shot of him in the ambulance, and I think I tend to agree it's a work now. Looking back at it and judging what everyone has said by that. But I technically I do agree with you. I do think John Cena needs to be used more sparingly. The problem, of course, you have with John Cena being used more sparingly is that WWE then are probably going to lose ratings when they need them most, because let's face it, John Cena is a massive, massive factor when it comes to ratings.
Yeah, I don't think it's completely a work. I mean, it can't be. If you saw those pictures of his knee, that it's swollen to hell. So something happened. They might be blowing it up just for storyline's sake, but yeah, something happened. As for whether Cena should retire, I don't think he needs to retire. He definitely needs to take a few steps back. If not for his own sake, then he has to step back if somebody's ever going to replace him. They need to rotate guys through to see if they ever actually can be what Cena is right now. Like, they need to push Bryan, they need to push Cesaro, they need to push Bray, they need to push Roman Reigns, guys that have that potential to actually be a top guy. And Cena needs to take a few steps back and let those guys shine if he's ever going to be replaced one day.
I mean, I think he wanted to. Again, I really think he did, particularly, with, they've given other guys shots, particularly Bryan, but it seems to me, I mean, WWE, I mean, then they had Punk, and they finally got that going, and now Punk's gone. It's not a good situation. He needs to take some more time.
Yeah, but if he takes more time, who is there to fill the gap? Because they're pushing Daniel Bryan, but they're not pushing him where anyone really wants him to be. Batista let's face it, Batista was the guy who they wanted in the main event for the next few months to give some Johnson some rest. Clearly, that's now not going to happen. We're running out of options. So you really want him to take some time off, but you can't. I know it's.
I mean, that's part of the problem, is that they're not willing to take that hit in order to let their top guy heal up, get back to 100%. And to the point that someone made, I can't remember who right now, that Cena has been going back before he should on his own initiative. I don't think the WWE is forcing him to come back, like making threats or anything like that, but I do believe they're definitely guilting him into it. Like, come on, man, we need you back. Nobody could do what you do, so you gotta be here. And Cena, that appeals to the company man in Cena. Like, he'll do whatever he has to for the company.
Well, I think that's his downfall in a way, though, because he will do whatever. I mean, fair play to him. He will do anything for that company, and I mean anything. So he's his own worst enemy, if you look at it like that. But at the same time, if he's willing to do anything, damn well he'll be back on Raw. So it's kind of 50-50 with that. It's John Cena. He does want to be back all the time. He loves it. I mean, whatever we say, at the end of the day, when he's on TV, he loves it. Just for the whole atmosphere of wrestling.
And I don't even think you have to take Cena off TV. Just get him out of the ring or keep him out of matches to a bare minimum, just so he can have that quasi time off. Like, he's not really gone, but he's not putting his body on the line either.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be used more, as like almost as not an accessory, but like a star. A star should like only wrestle like once every 2-3 weeks, make it more special, like that. But it depends. I mean, again, a lot of things go into that though. Again, viewership, ratings. Again, it goes back to the same stuff.
Yeah, make him 80s Hogan. He didn't wrestle every week. Like, it was a special thing when he actually got in the ring and wrestled. Make Cena that.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the workhorse. I mean, Daniel Bryan is clearly the workhorse. He does, and Cesaro, well, not just Daniel Bryan. Cesaro, Wyatt, Shields. They're the kind of the guys that are now carrying, the long matches. Obviously,
okay. So then, going into WrestleMania, we are on the road to WrestleMania, all the way to August 6th. If you cannot rely on Cena to sell that pay-per-view, give me one name, the guy that you would put in front of the camera to sell the thing.
It's not hard, is it? Come on.
All right, Lee, which one is it?
Well, it's got to be Daniel Bryan, isn't it? There's no one else. There's no one else who's even close at the minute.
Taker's name's going to sell it.
Oh, Taker's name always has a factor of it, but I mean, the name WrestleMania will sell it. But if you have to put a question on, if the question is, who is the one person that you need to sell it, and just one, it has to be Daniel Bryan, because
I kind of question that now that it's apparent that Bryan's not going to be fighting for the title.
Oh yes, sorry, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean like I meant in like a futuristic sense in terms of if they had to do it. I think if John Cena like left, I think we'd be seeing Daniel Bryan straight into the title picture. I think they'd change it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anybody else? All right, I was just curious because I just thought about that going into if you can't have Cena hyping up the show, which is the one guy that you would want to do it. Yeah, I guess you guys are right.
I can't think of one guy, but Shield versus Wyatt's again. That was easily match of the night at Elimination Chamber, and the crowd loved it.
Yeah, but to headline it, I would say yes, but I think it's too niche. Punk would do it, but he's not here.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that Punk. I think there's a chance of Punk coming back before WrestleMania, but next week is going to be.
I don't think so. I think he's burned this bridge at this point. He's taking time off. I don't think so.
Well, supposedly Vince is talking with him, like he's taking over and reaching out.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, I think next week's going to be fun. Next week could be one of the funniest Raws you've seen in a long time.
I would die laughing if Punk was seen in the audience.
Oh God, how good would that be? That it would literally just like half the crowd would follow him out.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. It's going to be one of those things where when you go into a convenience store and they got the picture of the person with that like bounces checks. I got to see that every single security guard has a picture of Punk, both with and without facial hair. And it's just very clearly written in Vince's handwriting, do not let this man through these doors.
Yeah, it's like on the outside of the arena.
He comes in looking like self, except he's like put a mustache on.
Like,
nobody would know.
The glasses with the big nose and the mustache.
Yes.
Comes in like that, just slyly walking in, strutting. He's like whistling and going, do 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 do. Oh, a WWE event. Why, I shall partake in this. And he just walks.
Yeah, like a massive green screen following behind as well.
Excuse me, Constable. Where may I purchase a ticket to this whoa wee event that you have going on? Seems mighty interesting.
the World Wildlife Fund event.
Well, I would love
Walks in.
to learn more about pandas.
Walks in dressed as Colt Cabana.
And you know what would happen? If that happened, we would all be sitting here saying, it's a work. It's not really. Every single one of us the next day would be like,
It'd be
I
quite funny.
told you he wasn't gone.
It'd be quite funny if he legitimately just walked in John Cena merch. The hat, the shirt, the jeans. Walked in like that.
The hands, the fingers.
Yeah.
That'd be
Like
awesome.
2 kids by the side of him.